Nicolas catches a sight one day while swimming in the sea, a red starfish on the belt of what looks to be a dead child. In order to inform his mother of his discovery, Nicolas hastily makes his way across the strikingly dark rocks of his town, shoreline. Mom dives right away and returns with the starfish, but she assures him that there isn't a corpse there. At home, Nicolas's mother gives him a dosage of his medication and he eats slimy foods for supper. Nicolas questions his mother about his illness. According to his mother, all of the boys on this island need treatment because as they age, their bodies will deteriorate. All of the island's mothers are observed congregating somewhere later that evening. As they head to the shoreline, Nicolas's mother returns with the corpse he previously saw, and the other moms congregate. After another boy makes fun of Nicolas for being scared of his starfish, he plays with it the next day. He becomes enraged and assaults later. He cuts off one of the starfish's arms from the boy. His mother takes him to the hospital for routine monitoring following his outburst. At the medical facility, a yellow liquid is injected into Nicolas's stomach by the hospital doctor. After that, he is instructed to spend one night in the hospital. Later on, Nicolas finds himself on a ward with other boys who had undergone similar surgeries. They start to wonder what illness they are experiencing at night. Nurses might be seen in the scene watching films of cesarean sections. Nicolas gets discharged from the hospital the next day. He starts to believe that he has been misled by his mother and the nurses. They sneak out in the middle of the night to see what the mothers are doing when he goes to his friend Victor's place. However, Victor becomes frightened while traveling. He then dashes home. Nicolas keeps going in order to find out the truth. He is shocked by what he sees when he gets there. He witnesses the women riding around in the mud, transferring an object from one to another, and sleeping together in their undies. A few hours later, he dashes home. While his mother is washing off the mud at home, he steals a glance at her and notices that she has what seem to be suckers on her back. When Nicolas returns to the hospital, his mother, who appears to be happy, is given an ultrasound. They hear a fetus's heartbeat. After that, Nicolas is led to a room where he will spend the night in the hospital awaiting the last operation. He meets other kids in the room, including Victor, his best friend. Victor undergoes surgery later that evening, and following the procedure, a creature is removed from his stomach and placed in a jar. During the procedure, Victor passes away. Nicolas asks the nurse where Victor is in the morning. Nicolas is told falsely by the nurse that Victor is getting well. Victor sent them a conch shell, which a nurse takes into the ward. When Nicolas's mother comes to visit, she brings him food. But when she feeds him, he won't eat it. When she starts looking through his sketchbook out of frustration, they sit at him and take away his drawing book when he accuses her of not being his mother. Nicolas becomes acquainted with a nurse while he is in the hospital. It appears that Stella has developed feelings for Nicolas. Stella sneaks drawers and crayons with Nicolas. In addition to the dead kid and starfish, Nicolas's drawings featured a giraffe, a car, a bicycle, and a structure. After telling him a secret, Stella shows Nicolas a file that has images of women, including one of the young girls, with suckers on their backs. She brings him down to the sea that night, lets him touch the suckers on her back, and then leads him into the water. However, Nicolas faints after spending too much time in the water. Stella performs CPR on him right away. Nicolas returns to the medical facility. He finds one of the boys as he slips into another room at night. Nicolas feels movement in the boy's body as he approaches and places his hand on his own stomach. He starts to explode after making Nicolas put pressure on his tummy. In terror, Nicolas flees and goes into another room. He sees one of the lads swimming in a tank in that room. Shortly after, a nurse catches him and takes him for the last search. When Nicolas awakens in a tank following surgery, he is restrained and appears to be accompanied by two infants. He faints after being stunned to see this. When Nicolas awakens, he and Stella are once more by the water. They get into the water once more, but this time she puts her mouth to his while they swim together, giving him oxygen to breathe. The two wind up floating away from the island in a little rowboat when she shoves him to the surface. Stella slips back into the sea, presumably to return to the isle, after ensuring Nicolas gets a drink of fresh water. Nicolas remains in the boat, and by dusk, he is getting close to a large city's harbor, and that's how the film ends. The story takes place in a location near the sea, where we witness a group of humanoids going about their daily lives. As you can see, there are just young boys and mature females here. Recognize that young girls are grown men. The female adults have suckers on their backs, as is revealed later in the film, demonstrating that they are water-based, humanoid life forms. They also breathe underwater. The evolution of the starfish led to the creation of these humanoids. This species can only reproduce asexually. Since there aren't any grown men, it appears that the only method of producing children is to externally create zygotes and implant them in young guys' tummies. Up to a certain stage, it appears that these boys' bodies can support the fetus. The fetuses must then be surgically removed and allowed to grow outside the body. Sometimes, if the boy's body is able to survive, they place the boy in a tank where the fetus grows externally in the water while still connected to the boy, as we can see in the movie. Every day, Nicolas receives his medication. This is to get his body ready to receive the fetus when the zygote is introduced into it, and these are allowed. The same treat is being given to other boys on the island. It is reasonable to infer that all of those young boys are regularly abducted from urban areas and transported to coastal locations. In the film, Nicolas's drawings are visible. In addition to a dead boy and starfish, there is a giraffe, a car, a bicycle, and a structure. Since the village does not have these, Nicolas is painting them from memory. This implies that he was taken there as a baby after being abducted, but the boys grow up with virtually little recollection of their origins. At the start of the movie, Nicolas noticed a corpse. We can presume that those women decided to keep it a secret and that he perished while attempting to flee. Together, the women are shown in the movie lying in the dirt, riding around, and passing objects from one person to another. This is a sort of ritual for birth reproduction. Those women become maternal friends when they have a child, is then collected and administered to boys in order to impregnate them. We get a glimpse of the humanoids watching a video of a cesarean section in another scenario. They have been trying to figure out how to cut the abdomen without harming the fetuses in this way. It seems that the humanoids typically perform the cesarean section incorrectly, murdering the host child in the process. Victor, who passes away following the procedure, serves as an example of this. On occasion, though, they manage to make the precise cut and move the host into the incubation tank. Nicolas, who survives the procedure, experiences this. Once within, the fetuses develop very quickly, and the host survives, maybe in preparation for a further zygote implantation. Stella, who truly loves Nicolas, chooses to end his suffering at the film's conclusion. After that, she smuggles Nicolas outside and leads him to a boat. The humanoids seem to move in this manner and penetrate human towns in order to kidnap children. Nicolas notices that he is getting closer to the shore of a human city as night falls. He will most likely be saved and reunited with his birth parents.